The bad is it's just a white label paper. Okay, we talk about this all the time in the world of cryptocurrency space, and why I compare it to the internet bubble of 99 and 2000. You know, in the internet bubble of 2000 and 99, companies were valued on future earnings. Okay, and here, you know, we have a white label paper. So the platform is not built out yet. So could it take over Ethereum? Yeah, it could, but it's not built out yet. Okay, so right now it's just a white label paper. Said, this is what we can do, this is what we're gonna do, and you kind of shake your head, you're like, I don't know about that, that sounds kind of sketchy. Okay, so it's not built out yet. It could be a scam. There's, you know, if you Google it or YouTube it, there's a lot of articles that says EOS doesn't do anything. It hasn't, you know, basically proven anything. Yeah, it says it's user friendly for the computer programmer, but we haven't seen anything. Okay. Their terms and condition makes you not own anything. That is something more on a deeper level. I don't want to get into the Coin Mastery series. David Hay, who's really, really good and well respected in the industry on YouTube, you can go to him, and he has a whole explanation of about 10 minutes on that. There's no market cap on the ICO. So right now, we talked about there's about 900 million tokens in circulation. They could increase that number anytime they want, which is just kind of makes you shake your head. Okay. So they could just run the price up higher and higher and just keep releasing more. It is also located in the Cayman Islands, which from my point of view is always a red flag. Why would a cryptocurrency, what about Cardano overtaking Ethereum as far as being large banks and retailers? You know, Cardano is another platform. So, you know, that's another platform. You know, you have EOS, we have Cardano, Ethereum, Neo. Neo's like the Ethereum of China. So there's a lot of platforms out there. It's located in the Cayman Islands. And that always makes me shake my head. I'd be like, why is it located in the Cayman Islands? That makes no sense, okay? Always makes my head when any business, I mean, and Alibaba is actually, you don't get invested in Alibaba, you actually invested in a company in the Cayman Islands that owns Alibaba. So just kind of makes you shake your head that why is it located in the Cayman Islands? Competition in the space is very fierce. David Hay. I could actually go get the link if you want to watch his explanation on Ethereum. Let me find it real quick. He's pretty good on YouTube. There's a bunch of guys that are really good. There's a bunch of guys that are really, really, really bad. Anybody that tells you to buy BitConnect, I'll put the link in here. Let me find it real quick. Okay, so here's the link for David Hay's video on EOS. Okay, so competition in the space. Competition is very fierce. We're in the platform space here. So like I said, I've done Ripple, which is decentralized, which is owned by institutions. We have Litecoin. Litecoin's a currency, and now I'm going over EOS, and EOS is a platform. So in the space, we have competition in Ethereum, competition in ARK, Lisk, Neo, Cardano, just to name a few out of the top 20 names of the competition in the space. Charts. So this is on the daily chart. We can tell here it's in a clear bull channel from the bottom left to the top right. You know, when you guys hear about projects, you know, one of the main things you can look at is who its management team is. So if you got it in the ICO of this, that's great. If you didn't, I personally don't like chasing names that have 10x'd. I think there's a big threshold once a name does 10x. So we see here, you know, when it started ICOing, yeah, if you got it in the beginning, you did great. You bought it at $1.50, ran up to $15. Do I think this can 10x from here? My answer is no. So when we go through the top 50 names for you guys, I mean, I like a lot of the projects. I like a lot of what they do. I just don't think the upside potential is there. I would rather be buying a smaller name that could potentially 10x. I don't think EOS is going to $150. It's already 10x. And a lot of times we see these names, they 5 to 10x, and then they just like stall out and just hang out here for a while. So I feel like a lot of the money that was to be made has been made. So, you know, I'm not getting into EOS here. You know, if I'm looking to build a more solid, stable portfolio, you know, I could buy a pullback to like 9.5, and we'll talk about levels here. But versus US dollar, got as high as about 18. That's probably when Bitcoin was about 20,000. It has pulled back here, but it's in a clear bull channel from the bottom left to the top right. I do think this name goes higher. Here's versus Bitcoin, and you can see just massively outperforming Bitcoin. 0 means it moves 1-to-1 with Bitcoin, and then it is 10x versus Bitcoin. So when we had that massive sell-off, and that sell-off went from basically 20,000 to 10,000 in Bitcoin, then you would think every crypto should be selling off equal amounts, and it didn't, right? So EOS went from maybe 1950 to 1450. So when Bitcoin went from 20,000, it got cut in half, right, to 10,000. And then EOS went from maybe 1950 to current price levels to 1450. So it's only down 25%. So it's really, really holding strong versus Bitcoin, which is good and bad. So Bitcoin went down by 50%, and EOS has only gone down by 25%. Okay, look at the outperformance versus Bitcoin. It is 10x versus Bitcoin. So that's always something to keep in mind and take in consideration. You want to look at it versus USD, and you want to look at it versus Bitcoin. But a massive upward trend here. It's almost gone parabolic, so I think it might reverse versus Bitcoin. So either Bitcoin needs to go higher, EOS needs to go lower, or they both need to meet in the middle. So I think EOS is a little overbought up here. Buy levels. You always talk about buy levels where you could buy it, and stop losses. These are all based on the charts. Everybody's technical analysis is going to be different. So you can buy EOS here. So when we set up these buy levels, there's always going to be 3 buy levels. It's going to be number 1 buy level is going to be called buy now. Okay, so if you want to get into EOS or when you want to get into any cryptocurrency, you buy now. Where's your stop loss? Number 2 is going to be the aggressive pullback, which means you want to buy the first pullback because you're very aggressive and you're bullish. And then the other one's the second pullback. So this would be like a pullback 1 and a pullback 2 levels. You guys got to come up with your own trading plan if you're looking to buy pullbacks, what your stop losses could be. So if you wanted to buy EOS right now, let's say you bought EOS at 1480, you would have a stop loss at about $7.50 or 20%. Okay, you got to decide what is better for you guys. Okay, so that's a 50% stop loss. If you wanted to, you could have something a little bit tighter of 20%. But always make sure that your reward to risk setup lines up. Aggressive pullback, you buy it around 10 bucks. Stop loss is 750. And then your moderate pullback, you'd buy around 720 with a loss of 220. And where I come up with these numbers, when you go to the chart here, this is, this level, if it breaks this tail to the downside, that will get ugly. That's 750. Okay, so the way I looked at it was like, hey, where is support to the downside? Okay, if you bought it right here, there's support all the way down. Under 750, it's going to get ugly. And then under that, which is about 220, it's going to get ugly. So big tails on the bottom act as support levels. Big tails on the bottom act as support levels. So EOS, now it's starting to consolidate. Consolidation shows overlapping bars. Usually when we consolidate, we make new highs or we follow the trend. And the trend in the short term is higher here. Okay, so that's where I get these levels. You can take a picture of it. We send the slides out as well. Okay, how to buy it. It's actually not on Bittrex, which I found very interesting. It's on Bitfinex, but that was closed to US customers. So it is not on Bittrex. So you can buy it, and these are the 3 major exchanges. And whenever I do my presentation, I never use the foreign exchanges. So you can buy it on Binance, Kraken, or HitBTC. Binance is probably the easiest one. I actually do not have an account currently on Kraken. I think I have an account on HitBTC. I have to look. And Bittrex and Binance, they've been closing for new registrations, and then they've been opening, and then they've been closing, they've been opening. So I'm not 100% sure where they are right now, but Binance would be the easiest place to trade it. Cryptocurrency score, I gave it an 86 out of 100, which is very, very strong. We have a question here. I just got started today. People won't want to chase the higher prices, and it can't be used for retail, and the government wants you to kill it. Give me your point of view. My point of view is I'm short-term a little bearish on cryptos, long-term bullish. I think that cryptocurrencies will move higher, and I'm very, very bullish. I have a lot of my money in it, and I'm looking to allocate more money into it as well. So I hope that's something. Crypto score, guys, out of the 3 names that I have done, this is going to have the best score. I had Ripple, I had Litecoin, and I had EOS. EOS continued to move higher. A really good leader in Daniel Larimer makes me think that it's going to go higher between now and the future. If it's trading Bitcoin, I'm short-term bearish, long-term bullish. So I think it can get down to 8,500. We've had consolidation at around the 11,000 level. So I think that EOS can go higher. I really like it. Platforms, when you had the Weiss rating system, saying platforms are going to be the key. We see so many different things, and people think currencies are going to be the ones. So people think platforms are going to be the one. For a while, I thought exchanges were going to be the one. But platforms might be the play. Having an even balance of currencies, platforms, and blockchain is probably the best bet. So I do think that EOS is the best of any one that I've looked at so far. So I think it moves higher. In conclusion, and then Mark, I'll be done in about a minute here. EOS is 10% of the market cap of Ethereum, very similar to Stellar and Ripple. So, it's only 10% of Ethereum's price. So this one has high risk, high reward, since the white label paper is the only thing that has so far. So I think there's a lot of potential upside, but there obviously is where there's high risk, there's high reward, because nothing is built out yet. So I do like this name. I think it moves higher. I want to put my capital a little bit more to work in some names that I think can 10x, because it's already 10x from here. The co-founder is a blockchain expert and has 2 other really good working projects. Steemit is in play. What do you think about Ponzi Coin? I do not know that one. And they are based out of the Cayman Islands, and they have not shown us anything. But there's rumors that they're boosting up the price to sell it out. With Dan Lehrman in charge, I don't think this is true. On Ethereum over the next 3 to 5 years, any guesses how high it can go? In Ethereum, I'd probably go to 5,000. So that's kind of my conclusion on EOS. I like it. I think it's overbought. I think it moves higher. I think the platform is good. Look at the Weiss rating systems. I know someone just put that in there. This is something that just came out. There's supposedly unbiased ranking system, and they ranked EOS the highest of any cryptocurrency. So I'll put that link in here for you guys. You guys can check out the Weiss ranking system. So that's it. So that is your Coin Mastery series. Sorry, Mark, I went a couple minutes over on time. Mark's going to take you through the next portion of the day. I think he has a coin he's going to be talking about today. But I like EOS. I'm not long it. I think there's better opportunities when you get past the top 50 names where you can, potentially 10 extra money. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll put all these recordings online. You also get my portfolio spreadsheet if you're a member, which you guys all are. Thank you, guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.